Hello and welcome. I'm Sam. Um, this will be a 45-minute yoga practice consisting of 30 minutes of movement, very, very gentle movement. I like to think this is and will be the kind of yoga class that just feels like a big giant hug to yourself. So, no huge movements, no really wild poses. This is in fact more of a practice that I invite you to tap inward. Notice how your body is feeling. Notice what emotions come up as you move and navigate through that lovingly. It's a challenge. That on its own is enough. We don't need to bring in um, too advanced of movements. We'll conclude this practice with a 15-minute meditation. If you would like to ever just do this meditation without having to do the 30 minutes, I'll encourage you to fast forward. You can fast forward to those last, to about the 30-minute mark, maybe a few minutes after, and you can just join us lying down. If you've never practiced with me before, it's such an honor. It's such an honor to be able to lead you, and hopefully in the comfort of your own space. Everything I'll provide you with today is an option. It's an invitation. You can take it or you can leave it. Make choices that feel good for you. We'll do lots of breathing. We'll do lots of intuitive movements. So I just encourage you to do your best. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for trusting me. And let's go ahead and get started. I have a bolster with me. You don't need one. If you'd like to use a pillow or a block to make things more comfortable, you're welcome to, but you don't need one. We'll go ahead and lengthen our spine here. Find any comfortable seated position, whether that looks like mine or maybe your legs want to be extended out long. You'll tap into your breath here. Tap into your body. You can take this practice today as seriously as you would like. Maybe here as we're just beginning, allowing yourself to take a big breath of surrender, inhaling through your nose deeply and letting go any way you'd like. Feeling your shoulders all down your spine. Reminding ourselves that we don't need to show up perfectly, ever. We don't need to show up perfectly now. We don't need to show up perfectly next week or the year. What matters is that you're here now. You have something to offer yourself and the world. Check in with your feet, your hands, and the muscles in your face. Oftentimes these places can hold tension and we don't even realize it. So taking a moment to let your face become expressionless, and in this moment to just be. Check in with what feels challenging about this. Is our brain starting to wander? Do we feel like this is not valuable? If we could be doing other things with our time. Challenge yourself. What speaks to you in the stillness, despite it maybe being hard to hear? Sitting with our emotions, choosing to approach them head on despite how scared they are at times. We'll start here to bring our right hand to our chest, our left hand to our belly, and again, let those shoulders soften. We'll alternate between breathing to our chest space and to our belly space. So when you're ready, your spine will lengthen. We'll draw this first one to our heart space, inhaling through our nose. Feeling the chest press into your right palm, and exhaling out slowly. This one goes to your belly. Inhale. You'll notice your chest want to rise first. Encourage that belly to press in towards your left hand and letting it go. We'll repeat. Inhale, lifting the chest. Exhale, letting it fall. Inhale to your belly region. And exhale, let it go. You'll take 2 more at your own pace, going your own speed. Let those fingertips just melt on and around your body. Last time here to each region, our heart space and that solar plexus area. Eventually here, letting your hands just rest down on your knees or thighs. We'll begin here very slowly. Take a big breath in through your nose. See if your spine can lengthen. And we'll exhale, drop the chin to our chest. Your right ear will start to come towards your right shoulder. And tilting the head. Maybe here your left hand wants to dangle out by the side, or those fingertips reaching towards the mat. Your right hand here could potentially come to the side of the head. Lips can part. How does this feel? Where do we feel this stretch? I don't want to spend today telling you where to feel it. I want you to explore that on your own. Start to bring those hands back in. Chin will flow to our chest. We'll take the opposite direction here. Left ear towards your left shoulder. Those shoulders shimmying away. Maybe here your right hand wants to extend out. Left hand could gently place on top of the head. Starting off here just very slow, very mindful. Your lips once again can part. If we ever struggle with headaches, this is one of my favorite stretches, but the key component is letting those lips part. Letting go of how we look, embracing how it feels. You can slowly let that go. Let's take our chin back to our chest. Take a gentle sway here, side to side with the head and neck, alternating, moving left and then right. And we'll come back up to neutral. This time moving only our shoulders. Make it dramatic. Have some fun with it. Shoulders pull up. Exhale, down and back they go. Noticing those little kinks and pops. Exhale, they'll come down and back. Let's go one more time this direction. Taking it the other way. Shoulders will come up. You'll roll forward here, trying to create space through your upper back and in between those shoulder blades. Beautiful. And when you finish that third round, coming back up to neutral, fingertips will extend down by the sides. Let's roll those shoulders back. Yeah, just doing our best. Let's start to reach the hands up nice and high. Big inhale. On your exhale, hands come through your heart center. Let's go again. Big inhale, those feet high. Whatever this looks like for you, exhale, your hands will come down. And one more time here, last round. Inhaling, collecting air. pulling it into your heart space. We'll meet back with those arms lifted, finding some length here. Take one more inhale. We'll go ahead and drop the right hand. It'll meet the mat. You'll sweep this left one over. Maybe your gaze goes down. We'll inhale, sweep this arm back up high, but then you're gonna come right back over. Exhale, melting down. We'll go once more. Big inhale. Your exhale. Pause. See if your left sit bone can root down a little bit more. Move slowly here. You'll let this left hand come down. You'll walk through center and you'll pause. Tuck the chin. How gentle can we be with ourselves? I feel like we oftentimes live in a society that pushes us to do, and to push. And how healing it is to just be gentle, to just notice and observe. Let's walk those hands back in towards our center. Bring yourselves back up nice and tall. Shoulders roll down. Let's sweep the arms up nice and high here. Big inhale. And this time your left hand will come down to the earth. We'll sweep that right one over. This doesn't need to look perfect. There's no expectations here. We'll inhale, sweep this right arm high. And exhale, you'll melt down. Last time, trying to find that breath. Inhaling up. Exhale, melt it down. And just pause here. Try to reroot through that right sit bone. You're welcome to take the gaze down and go slowly, bringing that right hand down towards the earth, walking your hands out in front. Maybe they want to crawl a little further this time. And we'll melt the heart down here just a bit. Your spine can absolutely round. And let's slowly walk those hands back in. Really lovely. Shoulders melt down. We're going to transition a bit here. So take your time if you are sitting on a block or bolster to go ahead and just move that out of the way. Remember, you don't need to have one. From here, we'll go ahead and plant our feet. Allow your hands to come back behind you, and then just let your knees here drop side to side. Keeping in mind, if you want a little bit more through your hips, allow the feet to be a little bit wider. Just creating some more space for your beautiful body. Good. Taking your time, letting those knees come back to center. Simply bringing your chest to melt over your knees, hugging around them. Tucking your chin, rounding your back. One more big breath. Good. You'll start to unravel here. We're going to send our right leg long. Nice big stretch. That should feel pretty good. You'll cross your left foot over. We'll hug this knee in towards our heart space. Remember here to pull the knee to you as opposed to you drawing to it. Lengthen your spine. Wiggle out a little bit if you need to. Pull some of the tissue away from your sit bones. Let's keep holding on here. With our right hand, you'll sweep that left one up. And remember, this can be super straight. We also could keep it pretty low. And you'll start to twist here. Left hand will come behind you, really allowing you to grow tall. And you'll maybe hook that right elbow if you'd like. Something a little less intense, like just be hugging it with your elbow crease. Your gaze will go all the way back behind you. What are we noticing in our body right now? One more breath. Good. Take your time. Inhale, you'll come through center, but both hands will come all the way to your right side. You'll take a gentle bow here. Just a little counter stretch. You'll bring yourself back up. You'll send your left leg to meet your right, and let's go ahead and switch sides. You'll hug this right knee up and in, that right foot plants. It's easy to let your right sit bone start to peel up off the mat, but reboot that, hug the knee to you. Let's keep driving through this left heel. You'll hang on with the left hand, right arm will lengthen, and let's bring that back behind us for a twist. Either hooking that elbow or maybe just holding with the elbow crease. Your gaze comes back as far as your neck allows. Keeping this twist through the entirety of our spine, all the way up to our cervical spine. One last breath. Big exhale. Inhale, let's come through center. Both hands draw over to the left. You'll take this little bow. No expectation of how low you go. We'll gently bring ourselves up. Let's take a fold here. We'll bring that right foot to meet the left. This is always so humbling, right? Remember, if you do have a bolster or pillow and you need some more support under those knees, you're welcome to take that. It can also come underneath your sit bones. But from here, we'll lengthen the spine. And maybe those arms want to reach, but they don't have to. You'll inhale, collect some air. On your exhale here, you'll start to lengthen your spine and dive over those legs. Chin will tuck. Remembering that blanket, bolster, pillow, whatever you have underneath your knees can feel really, really supportive. You don't have to have it though. We'll spend 3 more slow breaths here. I encourage you to find your edge. You don't need to go past it. 2 more. And a slow final breath. Let's walk those hands up, supporting our low back. We'll take our time here, transitioning, so you can bend those knees, lovingly swing the back behind you. We'll come into a brief a brief tabletop position. Your toes here can tuck. Maybe you shift your weight forward and back as you stretch out your feet. And perhaps do the same here with your wrists. Some of my favorites being bringing those fingertips to face my knees, turning the hands to the side, and perhaps even balling up your hands and creating fists for wrists, just seeing how that feels for you and what option you want to take today. From your tabletop position, we'll go ahead and let our big toes touch. Maybe your knees go a tiny bit wider, draw your hips back. And we will take our beloved child's pose. Melt the chest down. Your forehead can completely surrender. Your elbows can surrender. Let your belly fill here with air on your inhale. On your exhale, maybe resting a little heavier. Stay low in your child's pose. Walk your hands over to the left side of your mat, potentially even off your mat. Right hand will come on top. You'll let the head press in between the arms. You'll take 1 more breath. Hands coming back through center. You'll let that left one walk all the way over towards the right. Both hands maybe coming off of your mat. And that left hand, as I said on the other side, could maybe even come to float over top. And sinking those hips back, breathing into your left side body, pulling that breath all the way to that back rib cage. We'll go slow here. Hands will walk back through center. Your next inhale, build up the courage because we can, because we're able. We'll start to bring ourselves back into a modified plank position. So go ahead and draw those knees back underneath your hips. Your toes are welcome to tuck. We'll take our time here, allowing our chest to come all the way down. Inhale, finding a little back strengthening pose here that feels good for you. Whether that's your cobra, which I'm showing here, your full upward facing dog, or any other option. You'll take one more breath. Exhale, you'll let it go. We'll tuck the toes and we'll shift back through our child's pose, sending your hips back. One big breath here. Exhale, let it go. You're doing great. Let's inhale, come back through that modified plank. Feeling strong, lower your heart down. You'll inhale, peel up the chest just slightly or a lot, it's up to you. Exhale, let it go. We'll tuck the toes again, strong press, and we'll come to child's pose. One more time, we'll shift through that. Inhale, rolling forward. Exhale, sinking low here, that chaturanga. Inhale, opening up your heart. Exhale, melting it down. Toes will tuck, elbows tuck inward towards the rib cage. Strong press into your child's pose. Maybe giving those arms a full rest, letting your elbows completely drop to the mat. One of my favorite variations of this is even taking my hands behind my head and neck in a reverse prayer shape. A beautiful stretch for our triceps as well. You have one more breath. We'll start to come to a gentle downward facing dog, and I'll help you with this. Fingers will spread, your toes will tuck, we'll allow the hips to go high. But maybe today we choose a really gentle option, which is allowing our knees to bend. Crown of your head now still hangs heavy, but we don't feel like those legs have to be so straight and our calves stretching, maybe beyond comfort. That bend in the knees can feel really restorative. Maybe letting your belly here rest on your thighs. You'll take one more big inhale. Maybe you need movement, maybe you need stillness. Really nice. Go slow as you start to step your right foot in between your hands. You'll let the back left knee come down. Remember, you can always drop that knee first before you step through. We'll walk the hands up. And today we're just going to choose to keep those hands kind of low. Here we're really considering the shoulders coming down. Where are you holding your tension? Where do you feel stress manifesting in your body? Whether it's coming through aches in your upper back or low back, or through our facial expressions or our headaches or migraines. Ask yourself, can you part with it right here? Sink here, your hips just a little lower if you're able. We'll move here a little bit on our mat. Take one more breath, filling up your chest. Good. You're going to take your time here. Your hands will start to come down to the inside. They're going to walk towards your left knee. And that's your bend one at the back. Your right leg will go long here. And then you'll start to make your way up. And we're kind of in this gate pose shape. Hands can come down by your sides as your hips drop forward. You'll sweep the arms to the sky if you'd like. You don't have to though. Your left hand will come down as this right arm reaches over. I do love doing this on the my fingertips or a block. Take up the space you need and you deserve. You'll take one more big breath here. And now listen closely. You're going to face the back of your space. I promise I'll turn you back around. But let your right hand come down. You'll pivot once again on your left knee. And then now we're just in this modified tabletop position. Hands are down. Your right leg is still lengthened behind you. And you're actively pressing this heel away, just waking up that calf. Last thing we'll do here is you'll send this right leg out to the side again, but this time start to draw your hips back. And you are welcome here to come as far back as you'd like, maybe even dropping to your elbows. Back left toes can tuck or untuck. One more big breath. Slow release. Allow your hands to re-root you if necessary. You'll bring this right knee in and we'll find our downward facing dog. Toes will tuck. So in case I lost you, you're still facing the back of your space. And like I said, I'll turn you around through this next sequence. The same thing just on the other side. So let's go slow here. From your downward facing dog, and of course your knees can be bent. Your left foot can take a step to meet in between the hands. And that back right knee this time will drop. Hands may be staying low and powerful. And your eyes closing. Maybe connecting here deeply to that breath at your heart space and at your belly. Pulling one into each space. Maybe sinking a little bit deeper for this last one. Hands will start to come down towards the inside. This is once again where we pivoted. So we'll start here to walk towards our right knee. That knee pivots, your left leg lengthens. As you feel comfortable, walk your hands up. Send your hips just a little bit forward, and maybe eventually the arms will reach. One more big breath. Right hand coming down, left extending high or overhead. Staying strong through our core and just breathing. Knowing you can stop at any time. You're never stuck in a pose. Last breath. You'll bring this left hand down. So now you should start to face the front of your space again. You'll go ahead and pivot here. This time in that modified tabletop with your left leg extended back, toes to the earth. Shifting your weight forward and back. You can always do this down on your forearms as well. Final thing that we'll do here, you'll start to send this left leg out to the side as much as possible, letting that pinky edge really connect. And maybe drawing those hips back, maybe alternating or being a bit dynamic with the stretch. I'll leave that entirely up to you. What is your body telling you? Take one more big breath. Good. And take your time from here, pulling that left knee back. We'll take our last downward facing dog. Toes will tuck. Strength here through our arms. Lifting those hips. Gaze is in between the ankles. Maybe pedaling out your heels. Perhaps coming high on your tippy toes. One more breath. And we'll drop to those knees. You'll take a child's pose again. We know this pose. Forehead comes down. You'll enjoy one more breath here. We'll begin to transition after that. We'll walk our hands towards our knees. We'll get to come to our backs, taking your time coming onto one hip. And once again, lovingly swinging those legs out in front of you. You'll scoot your hips forward. You might hold on to those knees, but we'll come on down to our backs. And when you arrive, maybe hugging the knees in towards your chest. Every time I come down to my back, I always give myself a moment to just rejoice in it. To let my shoulders really gravitate towards the mat. If you'd like to take a little rock side to side, you're welcome to. Allow your beautiful cheeks, your face, to rest down towards the mat as well. We'll find stillness. Go ahead here and plant both feet. Allow your arms to reach overhead. Just get a nice full body stretch here. You'll then let those arms drape back down towards your sides, and we'll let the knees drop side to side here once you're wiping them out, much like we did at the beginning of this class, seated. The next time your knees draw over to the right, you'll pause, allowing both of them to just rest. If this feels a little too intense, you may walk your feet closer together. You could even stack your knees and stack your feet. If you want something a little bit more and your hips are feeling strong and feeling healthy, you might take your feet wide, mats width apart. Your gaze will go left. And you'll take one more breath here into your belly space. Maybe going a little deeper with your exhale. Slowly inhale, pull those knees through center, and then let them drop over to the left. All of those same modifications are available to you. Gaze can go right. Nowhere to be, nothing else to do. Just taking care of you, nurturing you, your body, your mind, your spirit. We'll start to bring those knees back to center. Really nice. From here, let's take the right leg up to the sky. Now, I love doing this because quite literally, there are no expectations. We don't even need to hold on to the leg, although you're welcome to. Reroot through your tailbone. Circle out your right ankle. Maybe send it a thank you for all it does. We'll take one more big breath. And then from here, bend your knee, hook your right ankle over your left knee, and we'll let this knee fall open. If you want a little more here, you can start by scooting up your left foot. You could potentially even lift the left foot and wrap right hand in between the legs to come around the thigh. Left hand to wrap around the thigh as well. Keeping in mind, if you did want to use a bolster or a pillow, it coming underneath your head and neck is just such a lovely support. It allows you to focus more on this hip opener rather than straining your neck and your face. Where is your breath? Slowly release, allow the left foot to plant. You'll go ahead and unhook the right one, press into it, send your left leg to the sky. That beautiful extension, especially when our legs have been bent for quite some time. Circle out that ankle if you'd like. Check in with your tailbone. Has it lifted? Last inhale. We'll go ahead here and we'll hook that left ankle over our right knee, and we'll let this knee and hip fall open. If you'd like more, maybe picking up that right foot and wrapping both hands around that right thigh. Ask yourself if you're clenching through your jaw. Are we really flexed through our feet? Can our toes soften? Giving up your weight to the mat. One more breath. And let it go. That right foot may plant, followed by the left. You'll take a reclined butterfly shape here. Soles of your feet drawing together. Your hands here may be resting on your hips or resting at your belly. In this moment, feeling like this practice has offered you a giant hug to yourself, one that feels nurturing, one that feels safe, one that feels peaceful. Two more breaths. Send love to your hips. Allow your mind to come back to your breath. We'll sink into our Shavasana in these final 15 minutes or so of a gentle meditation. Let's start by just sending our legs long, taking your hands, and if they feel comfortable wherever they're at, that's absolutely fine. But if you'd like to take them out to the side, palms facing up, offering this beautiful external rotation of your shoulders, encouraging them to melt down towards the mat, can be a lovely choice. You'll begin to let the eyes close if they're not already. And I'll challenge you for these next 15-ish minutes or so to remain still, to fight that urge to move, to seek comfort in to move or readjust, to seek comfort. But when you find it, to rest in it. Check in with where your tongue is inside of your mouth, if it can release, if your jaw can unclench. Become so still you can feel your heartbeat from within. The very gentle rising and falling of your chest and your belly. As we move through this meditation, you'll hear my voice pop in and out. It might shift to the background of your mind, and that's okay. It doesn't need to be in the forefront. And if you get distracted, which can happen, don't judge it. Come back to your breath. Without moving, come back to how the mat feels beneath you. Meditation is a loving practice. It's not one that judges. It's not one that keeps account or keeps a score. It is presence. It is forgiveness. It is love. Continue breathing naturally. Applying strict rules to our breath is not necessary right now. Your breath becoming one with ocean waves, constant, consistent, maybe changing in depth and size. Maybe you're connecting your breath to the sound of ocean waves. No difference. one and the same, you and the ocean and you. Begin to envision yourself at a place of peace, somewhere in nature that brings you peace, the ocean, a river, a forest. You take in this world around you, the things that you can hear, the things that you can smell, the things that you can see. The sun is shining in this place of peace. It's light illuminating the environment, illuminating you to shine even brighter. You notice the warmth on your skin. You notice the way it makes the leaves glisten or the water sparkle. Maybe you notice the way it hides behind a cloud or seeps in between the branches. In this moment, there are no worries. Pain does not exist here. You are free to be yourself. You are free to love. You are free to experience joy and laughter. And above all else, peacefulness. You continue diving deeper into this place of peace as you walk barefoot along the ground. Maybe it's sand you feel. Maybe it's the earth's dirt and twigs or leaves or water that you feel. But you feel it. It's here. It's real. deeper. Continue breathing naturally. You begin here to come back to your breath. You begin here to come back to your body, your vessel that holds your laugh, that holds your smile, that holds the way you care for others. You offer gratitude for this moment, if it's even for just a moment. Trusting in the person that you are, the life that you live, your purpose, your light, your divinity. You'll begin to very slowly draw in some small movements, wiggling of the toes, a slightly larger breath perhaps, maybe wiggling the fingers. We'll move slowly here to a side lying position, maybe rolling to your left, allowing your head to rest on that lowered left arm, and tugging the knees up towards your chest. Protecting your peace, protecting this moment. You'll take your time once again, building up that courage. And we'll start to press ourselves back up to a seated position. Much like how we began this practice, you can allow your hands to rest in your lap or maybe on your knees or thighs. Your palms can face up or down. You can decide here what's important to you, what resonates with you. Allow your eyes to close gently, to let your eyelids meet one another ever so slightly. You'll bring in the final 2 breaths here, one to your heart space, and that second and final breath to your solar plexus, the space of intuition. Releasing it out, pulling your hands towards your heart space, where those 2 sides here can connect, the left and the right. We might lift the hands to our forehead to honor our thoughts. We'll then draw them to our lips to honor the words that we speak. And finally, they rest in our heart to honor all that we do. May it come from a place of good intention. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for giving this an honest chance. And I hope it meets you in a place of comfort. I'm sending you love right this very moment. If there's anything else I can do for you, or anything else you would like to see from me, please let me know. Other than that, take care of yourselves. Continue filling your cup so you can continue filling up the cups of others. Much love, and I hope to see you all soon.